Hey there, Patriots. In this video, I'm going to make 8 angles by 2 lines being cut by a transversal. We're going to pair those angles up and name those angles. So I've already used this word transversal. A transversal, simply put, is a line that crosses over 2 other lines. So if I give you 2 lines and I cross them with a 3rd line, that 3rd line is called a transversal. So this line right here, that's called a transversal. The 3rd line that crosses over 2 other lines is a transversal. Now, as stated in the video, when I have 2 lines cut by a transversal, we make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 angles. Well, 4 of these angles are going to be interior angles. They're going to touch my transversal. They're going to touch this transversal right here. And they're going to be between these other 2 lines. They're going to be between right here. So these angles are my interior angles. 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to call them 3, 4, 5, and 6 just because I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 6 are my interior angles. Now, if we have interior angles, it would only make sense that we have exterior angles. So the 4 angles I haven't already named, they are going to touch our transversal, and they are going to be outside the other 2 lines. So that's these 4 angles right here. Here's my transversal. And let's make this a little bigger. Let's shade on the inside. So these 4 angles on the inside, 3, 4, 5, and 6, are my interior angles. That means angles 1, 2, 7, and 8 are my exterior angles. 1, 2, 7, and 8 are the exterior angles. Notice they are not inside the shade. Now, what I said at the very beginning is we're going to pair all these angles together, and they're going to make special names. So the first pair we're going to talk about are our alternate interior angles. These are angles that are between the coplanar lines, so they are interior, and they are on different sides or alternate sides of my transversal. So different sides means alternate sides. So we're going to be between the coplanar lines, that's interior, and on different sides of the transversal, those are alternate sides. So the best way to find those is to start by highlighting, let me see if I can get my right, highlighting your transversal, and then we're going to shade the inside. So alternate interior angles. We're going to pick an inside angle. I'm going to make it this one. We're going to use some kind of notation here. I'm going to say X. X and X are alternate interior angles. We got inside left, inside right. So left, inside, right, inside. We also have right, inside, and we have left, inside. I switched to letters for no specific reason, just to make it a little easier to understand. So the X's are my alternate interior angles, and the Y's are the alternate interior angles. 2 pairs of alternate interior angles. Again, if we have alternate interior angles, we have alternate exterior angles. They are going to be outside of the coplanar lines. Outside of the coplanar lines means exterior. Different sides of the transversal, that means alternate. I'll spell it out. So to help us identify them, again, I am going to highlight my transversal. There's my transversal. I am going to shade the inside because we always shade the inside even if we're talking about the outside. So my alternate exterior angles, if I look up here, this is left and on the outside. I want to go to the other side, the right side, and on the outside. So I need to jump all the way down here. So right and outside. So a W again would go right there. We could also do a Z, and I could be right out. And I could jump out on here with this Z, and that would be the left outside. So if I put a little color on that, that would have W go to W, and let's, what color should we use? Let's do a green, and that would have Z go to Z. All right, alternate exterior because they're on the outside. Then we have same side interior angles, or what we call consecutive interior angles. So we are told that they will, between the coplanar lines, if you're between the coplanar lines, that means interior, and the same side of the transversal. That's where I get consecutive from. I grew up saying same side interior angles, but they have since changed the wording to consecutive interior angles. So to help us identify these consecutive interior angles, so if we look up here, we're going to have our highlighter. Here's my highlighter. And then let's shade on the inside, because I always like to shade on the inside. My consecutive interior angles are going to be on the same side of the transversal and both on the inside. So if I do X and X, Y and Y, because notice here we're on the same side. They're both on the left, left, left. They're both on the inside, inside, inside. Y is on the right, inside. Y is on the right, inside. And if we want to, let's do a little coloring on here, because coloring is, it's always fun. So I got orange and orange, and then over here we can do green and green. So the colors go together right like that. Those are my consecutive interior angles. Next on the list is going to be our consecutive exterior angles. Notice again, they are consecutive, exterior. Outside the coplanar lines. When we are outside the lines, coplanar just means they're on the same plane, remember. Outside the lines, that means we are exterior. Same side of the transversal. That's our consecutive. So our consecutive exterior angles, they're going to be on the same side of the transversal, but on the outside this time. So if we look at our diagram, here's our transversal. And we shade the inside. Even if we're talking exterior angles, we always shade the inside. I always want you to shade the inside. So that's going to give us W and W, Z and Z. Those are my consecutive exterior angles. Because if you look, we're on the left outside. The other W is also left outside. Z is on the right outside. And Z again is on the right outside. And colors is always fun. So W's and Z's. Boom. Easy. The name tells us everything we need to know. So my corresponding angles. These ones are the basic angles that we base everything else around, but they're a little harder to see because the name doesn't help us out. These are angles that are on the same side of the transversal and the same side of the coplanar line. These angles are in the same corner formed by the transversal and coplanar lines. Alrighty, so let's talk about this. These ones can be a little tricky, but that's okay. So here's my transversal. Let's shade the interior. We always shade the interior. All right. So what I mean by on the what with those with these words, they're going to be in the same corner of the angles. These angles are in the same corner formed by the transversal and the coplanar lines. So if I put a W, W is in the top left corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to this group of 4 angles. W also goes in the top left corner. Notice one of the W's is inside. This W is inside. This W is outside. They're both on the left. I could do Z. Z is on the top right. So the other Z in this group of 4, Z needs to be on the top right. I can do X. X is on the bottom left. So the other bottom left is right here. Y is on the bottom right. And Y is on the bottom right. And if we help ourselves out with little colors, I think that'll make it, that'll make it a little easier to see. Let's get some highlighters going here. So the W's make corresponding angles. The Z's make corresponding angles. The X's make corresponding angles. The Y's, that's a little too close to X, isn't it? The Y's also make corresponding angles. Oh, let's try a purple. All right. So those are the corresponding angles. The names really don't help us identify where they go. They don't give us like names like interior, exterior, alternate. But we got it. We got this. All right, so that brings us to our bell work. So if you look at your bell work, all they want you to do is select the correct angle name, which 4 angles are the interior angles, which angles are the exterior angles, which angles are on the same side with of the transversal as angle 7, the same side as 7, not 7 itself, which other angles? Which angles are on the same side with as angle 1, which angles are on the alternate side of the transversal as angle 2, and then which of these angles, which of these lines A, B, or C is my transversal. So select all the appropriate names. You got to get them all to count and get all the points. Alrighty, Patriots. If you got any questions, please ask. If you need this backed up so you can get your colors in or take better notes, let us know. And we'll see you when we see you.